You are now listening to The Purpose Pod, hosted by Alan Levi Simmons. This podcast is a platform to give listeners an inside perspective on purpose, business, and life experiences. If you're interested in finding purpose or discovering paths that could lead you into your purposeful life, this is the podcast for you. Thank you for tuning in. It's time for The Purpose Pod.
Khalid Kareem, Detroit kid, Harrison High School. Brought down for the sack by Khalid Kareem.
Khalid Kareem knocked it out.
What a play by Khalid Kareem. Get that ball out. Back to the air. Perkins in trouble. He goes down for the 8th time. That's Khalid Kareem. 3rd and 10 is the moment now. And Patterson's going to throw. He's in trouble. And he is brought down.
First sack of the game. Khalid Kareem gets it done. Notre Dame defense comes through in a big way. And
dropped him back, 35, I should say. He's brought down for the sack by Khalid Kareem. Khalid Kareem, down goes Slovis. Patterson is flush. He's in trouble. He is sacked.
Mills drop back. He's in his own end zone. Oh.
Yeah. What up, beautiful people? What's going on? It is time for the Purpose Pod. You guys just saw it. Khalid Kareem just killing people on the street, just going through people. I'm over here looking at him while he's playing. Like, while I'm watching him play, and I'm looking at him in the background just to see his reaction. And I'm seeing him in the video just do this, and like he's back there, like, yeah, that's me. But let me bring this man on right now. Khalid Kareem, what up, brother?
What's up, man? How you doing?
What's going on, bro?
I'm chilling,
man.
man.
I'm blessed, man. I just got excited watching you play, man. It just really got me excited.
Yeah, man. I mean, definitely watching that, definitely brings a smile to my eyes, just seeing, what I accomplished. And honestly, like, even though I just got done playing for Notre Dame 6 months ago, I miss it already. I miss the guys a lot.
Yeah, I bet, man. And like, I just know from like playing high school ball, and like I played ball like from little league all the way up to like high school. And I know like that brotherhood, that bond that you build with the fellas, but you played on a collegiate level and, at Notre Dame. And so we're going to talk about that. We're going to jump into that, because okay. I was out there watching Rudy one day, and I'm just like, so we're going to talk about that, bro. But like, so COVID-19 is here. It's been like wrecking everybody's life. So before we jump into your life, like, what's it been like for you during COVID?
It's been a little crazy. I mean, from the beginning, like, when everyone's, first starting to hear about it, I was down in Pensacola, Florida, training and for the combine, and also recovering from my shoulder. Yeah. And so, we really weren't too worried about it. Flew to Indianapolis for the draft. That went well. And so the plans for me was still to have my pro day. I think it was April 1st. The scheduled date was. Yeah. So, I was training for that. And then, like, almost every day, some new about, COVID's coming out. And then right. Things start getting shut down. And then, I'm like, I hope they don't, shut down our pro day. Next day, shut down. Yeah. Then a couple weeks later, graduation shut down. So, everything I was pretty much looking forward to, this spring pretty much got altered in some way. But, I just had to, play the cards I was dealt and make the most of the situation.
I like that. I like that closer right there. Did you set that up? You set that up that way because he was like, I just play with the cards of dealt, and that's a real point, because you guys that have graduated from college, you guys that are, that were getting drafted at that time, you guys were trying to, get ready, and then COVID is here, canceling everything that you need. So like for graduating during COVID, how was that for you? Like going to Notre Dame, and seeing the campus, I was like, this is beautiful, beautiful campus, but you guys didn't get the traditional experience that everyone gets, or how was that for you?
So, I mean, I graduated in December 2019.
Okay.
But I was scheduled to walk May of 2020 with, because so I could have walked last year because I had all my credits were done last May. I could have walked, but I was like, you know what? I want to walk with my class guys who I came in with. It'll be more special that way. So that build up, you finished the season. Didn't finish how we wanted, but we still won the bowl game. So we still ended on a high note.
Yeah.
The draft process is going well. Everything's kind of building up to how it's supposed to, and then it kind of comes crashing down. Like, well, how do we get past this? But kind of had to take it, kind of step by step, because like for me, my shoulder, that was kind of the biggest concern for me, because I was rehabbing down in Pensacola, and things were kind of getting shut down, and then my parents got concerned. They're like, why don't you come back home? And so I had to stop doing my rehab down there, fly home, and then find a different rehab facility back home to rehab my shoulder. I eventually found somewhere, some great treatment, and then once I moved to Cincy, well, after I got drafted, I eventually moved out to Cincinnati around like June 1st, and I had to find someone here. Yeah, but that was kind of difficult because a lot of places were closed. And so I had to find someone that was open. And so it's kind of been crazy these last couple of months. Yeah.
So like, was that with the shoulder injury? And I know you've had like the ankle injury or whatnot. Was that ever does that linger in your mind, or have you been able to like, whatever, and I'm just going to play my game? Is that what you do? Like, what do you do with those injuries?
So I've never had a major injury like, tearing my labrum before. I mean, I've had my junior year spraining ankles like left and right.
Right.
So, I mean, and that was, to me, that was kind of nothing. I mean, I sprained my ankle before. That's something I can play through. But having surgery, like major reconstruction of my surgery, on my shoulder. Well, I mean, it was more so stabilization, because it was just, the shoulder was just real. It was kind of like this, just moving around in the socket. So they wanted to tighten it down. They put like 10 anchors in my shoulder. And so, I mean, yeah, it was.
So you're almost like an Iron Man.
That's how I feel. That's how I gotta feel. Yeah. So I tore my labrum 270 degrees around. So if you imagine a clock going kind of clockwise from 12 to 3, and so it was pretty bad. God. But I mean, so mentally, I kind of have to get past that. Like for me, I struggle with finding the difference between pain and tightness or or sore, because in my head I kind of view them as the same. Either way, I'm gonna fight through it. Yeah. But when physical therapy, they're like, how do you feel? I'm like, I'm all right. Like
I'm all right.
Either way, I'm gonna fight through it. But for me, it's hard to describe how I'm feeling, because all I know is how to just keep pushing through, because that's all I did at Notre Dame. I mean, when I tore my labrum November 9th against Duke. Yeah. And when it happened, I knew something was wrong, but so one side note. So problems I told myself this season was that I wasn't gonna go down and need help getting back up, because my junior year, everyone joked me, oh, you had the most times going down the whole NCAA, you had the most injury timeouts. I'm like, okay, I'm tired of hearing this. And so the first time me going down was from my shoulder. I was on the ground, like it feels kind of weird, like it doesn't feel right. But so helped off the field, shook it off back in the next play. So so the thing is, if you get injured, you have to come off for one play. So I came off for my one play, then got right back in. And so after the game, I was like, I feel fine, a little sore, because I thought it was like a sprained AC joint, because that's happened to me before. So it was very similar pain. And then the next week, that was Navy. Played through that, didn't really have any problems. But Boston College, that's when I had the most pain right there, because I think I went down maybe 3 times that game. Yeah, and I knew something was up, because I got a sack against BC, and I stayed down because I was hurting. Man, like, I couldn't move. I was laying on my back. Like,
so you knew already, like this is done.
I knew it was something more than just strain AC joint. Yeah, it was bad. But and then the next week I played again against Stanford, and I was fine. Yeah. But like 2 weeks after that, finally got the MRI. They're like, "Yeah, you tore your labrum." I'm like, ooh.
Oh, so if you would have went in earlier, would you have been better off, or was it a thing of like, oh, if you went in earlier, you would have been more healthier, or what was the case there?
When you say early, you mean get
like when you first started feeling like, like you said, the first game, you're like, something's a little off. Do you think if you would have went in then that it would have been torn at that point, or what?
That's a good question because I probably definitely made it worse over time.
Yeah,
it may not have been as significant as a tear.
You're right.
But the tear probably was definitely still there.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like I still could play through it. It wasn't anything major. Well, it was major.
Yeah.
But like I said, all I know is to just keep fighting through.
Yeah. And that's a wild mentality to have, like that fighter mentality. When you were saying that, people were probably like, he said, so he just like felt some discomfort and he just went back in the game the next play. That's big.
I mean, I'm a captain, and my team needs me, and I know they're relying on me just like I'm relying on them. So
yeah,
and I don't want.
Oh, can you hear me, Khalid? Can you guys hear Khalid? Let me see. I think he's having a little thing, but this is Khalid Kareem. He just got drafted to the Cincinnati Bengals, folks. He's having a little error. There he goes.
Am I good?
You're back.
Am I good?
Yeah, you had a phone call.
No, I mean, I guess my Wi-Fi dropped or something.
It's all good.
My iPad. Yeah. But like I was saying, I lost my train of thought. Like okay, I remember what I was saying.
Yeah.
I knew they were relying on me because I knew if they were in the same situation where they thought they had like a little nick and bruise, they would still be out there. And so that's why, like, deep down, I knew I had to suck it up and get back out there. They needed me.
Yeah. So like when you became, and I know I read something, I was trying to do my research and stuff, and I read something where it was like your dad found out that you was a captain, from the media source. I don't mean to bring up old stuff. I'm just I don't know if your dad wanted. He'd be like, yeah, he did do that.
Yeah, he was kind of hot at. He was kind of pissed because we found out and then we went right to practice. So I had no time to. No, we found out meetings and practice. I really had no time to hop on the phone and be like, hey, let's vote a captain. I had to run to the meeting. Yeah, put my pads on, get dressed, and go to practice. I'm like, I didn't have time to really let anybody know, but he got over it.
So what was that like for you? You get on the team and you started your freshman year, right? Like your first year at Notre Dame, you started your rookie year?
No. I didn't. You had to wait. I didn't start until my junior year.
You had to wait a while. So Notre Dame's program is just official, bro. Like I wanted to, I came for 2 weeks during the summer, but I was thinking about signing up. I was playing.
Yeah. I mean, I had to work for it. I mean, yeah. Excuse me. It was a situation where I was the number 2 as a freshman, but in that system we didn't really rotate a lot, so I didn't get a lot of snaps. I only played like 16 snaps my whole freshman year. Yeah. I mean, but I think if we would have won more games, I probably would have played, just because we went 4-8 that season. So I think the coaches were really just trying to figure out how to get some more wins instead of let's put this freshman in. So I completely understood that. Yeah. And but then my sophomore year came, and I'm still like the 2 then, but in my mind I'm ready to play. Like I've been busting my butt, I'm ready, but it didn't come. Yeah. But that season, I just, kept my head down, kept grinding. And then, the shots I did get in the game, I took full advantage of it. I mean, I made my plays. I got my first sack against Miami, Ohio. And then, I just kept building upon that. Got a fumble recovery the next week at North Carolina. I got 2 sacks the next week against USC. And at that point, we were like 1A and 1B. Yeah. And following that season, I really made my mind up. I'm like, I want this starting spot, and nobody's gonna get in my way. Like I'm gonna outwork anybody I got to. And so the guy in front of me, close friend of mine, but I won the spot. So everything that we did, everything that we competed in, I told myself I'm gonna beat him. Like I don't make it known that like this is gonna be my spot. And so that's what I did. Wow. I earned it, that spring, and then that year, I knew I had Ade behind me, and he was pushing, he was balling, and so I knew like if I relax, he would take my spot. So having him behind me, that only made me better.
I like that. You dropping some jewels right here, bro. I hope some people eating right now. We learning life lessons from Liddy right now, bro. So we're learning life the Liddy way. I called it the Liddy way on Instagram. I felt lame about it. I was like, I'm over here making up things for Liddy, but it's the Liddy way, and it's the Liddy way, So you spoke about being a team captain, and like even though you're hurt, you're going back out there, and that speaks a lot about leadership. And I really feel like that is a key to what a lot of people need in like large organizations or large teams, is that leadership heart. Yeah. And, a lot of players don't have that heart. A lot of players get hurt and they like, go take me out of the game. Take me, they don't want to go back in the game, but and I feel like that separated you. So do you feel like that mentality separated you from, other college players?
100%. I mean, that's something that's been, that's just something in my DNA. I feel like, I mean, I've been basically like, from little league until now, like it's just that, don't stop, don't quit. Like one thing my high school coach used to tell me is, nobody stops you. And so like, I used to always carry the mentality, like nobody's going to stop me, even myself. Like if they got to carry me off the field. And that's something like our strength coach, Matt Baylor, something he really instilled in us. Yeah, like just always keep fighting it. I mean, because our workouts, that's probably some of the toughest workouts I've ever been a part of. And like, if you were just, a regular person just looking at his work and be like, wow, like I can never like imagine doing that. Like we felt the same exact way. Trust me, we felt the same exact way. But
like, why are we doing this?
Yes, but like he just like he takes us to a different mentality. Like to a point where we're basically willing to die on the field.
Do you feel like it? But that stuff right there creates champions, right? And even just not even the state of being a champion, like we won a championship, but the mindset, of being a champion. I feel like that type of thing makes underdogs, and like when I'm always like I'm the rooter for the underdog. I've been an underdog all my life, you know what I mean? So it's always been like, he might not win that race, he light skinned, that's but. So I've had that happen. So I always think that if you're the underdog, but you have a champion mindset, like you're the underdog on paper, but when you get put in that game, like you're saying, like when I get put in this game, I'm no longer going to be 1B. I'm about to be 1A. Out here, So
and I feel like the thing that really like attributes to that is like you don't need all the glitz and glam and flash. All you need is yourself and your team. Like. Yeah, it doesn't matter, what the media is saying. Like, only thing that matters is, the men that's on the field on that sideline in that huddle with you. Like, those are the only ones, that, like I said, that really matters, and that's all you got at the end of the day. And if y'all they're staying together, if y'all are one unit, nobody can break that. Yeah,
and that's a fact. So I have a question for you because there's a lot of young men out here who, their dream. Is a dream that you had, but you're now like you walked into your dream. And I want to ask you how it felt, after this. But for those young men who are who you used to be, maybe they're in the little league now, or maybe they're in high school, or maybe they're in college, what are like maybe like two things that they could do as a student athlete to put them ahead of their peers in a sense, like, they may need to work some more, but like, what are two basic things that student athletes can do to maintain great grades and, to excel on the field?
I would say discipline is huge. I mean, you got to be disciplined and, in your work ethic, and then studying. And that goes, in the classroom and like in the meeting rooms too. Yeah. I mean, discipline, that's probably one of the biggest things. But it's easy to slip and get lazy. I mean, the other day I was telling my trainer, this was like Friday, I think. I told him, like, I really did not feel like coming in today because the day before was just really long. I was tired. I got home. I think I was putting together some furniture, and then I didn't want to go and sleep till like 12, and I had to, be up, I think at 6 to make it a workout sometime. Right. I really did not feel like coming today. Like, I really contemplated. I'm like, okay, so if I miss training, like
what would happen if I were to miss training?
Like, can I make it up? Like, but I was like, you know what? Like, there's no room for that. I mean, the competition, they're not taking breaks. I mean, and that's my mentality. There's always somebody, trying to outwork me. So that always fuels me that there's somebody behind me who either wants my spot and I want their spot. So I'm gonna get it.
Yeah. And that's what you're entering into, this, going with the Cincinnati Bengals. Like you're going as, you're a rookie now, you're new to the team. It's always like being that new guy in the organization. You're like, all right, I got to hold my own down, and you got to represent for yourself, in order to like prove that it's military's the same way. Like you got to prove, even though you on here, you're still going to have to prove that you deserve to wear this, So what is your mentality going into the Bengals? Like, what are you thinking about doing, and making your impact as you grow in this field? Like, what do you think your mentality is right now going in?
Mine, honestly, and this is just overall, like in anything I do is just, stay quiet. I mean, listen more than I talk. And try to, soak up everything like a sponge. Whatever someone has to say, listen to them. But just go out there and grind. I mean, you don't like your actions speak louder than words. So I don't have to tell you what I want to do. I'm just go out there and do it. And I earned the right just as other guys, the veterans who are ahead of me, they've earned the same right. I put in the work. I did my thing on the field at Notre Dame. So I earned it. I earned my spot to get here, but now I have to earn to stay here. So
stay here, right? And that's work in it. That's work.
Rent is due every day.
Right. Rent is due every day. Come on, bro. See, brother, this is the Liddy way, y'all. This is the Liddy way. Rent is due. It's not due on the first. It's due every day.
Every day.
I can't move forward. Hold on, because that just hit me a whole different way, bro. Because I'm the one that thinks like, oh, I got to get money to pay, rent on the first. Like I got bills due on the first, but really every day leads to the first, right? Yeah. Every day leads to game day. So every day is I got to put my rent down today. Like when I come on this field, like I wish that's one thing, us people who say I used to play football back in my high school days. Us used to be guys back here, right? Yeah. When I look back, I say I wish I could go back and go to practice and like puke my guts out on the field for the sake of coach, because I know he's trying to make me better. And I know, so like I've quit teams. I've done that because of my hard head, and my unwillingness to dedicate my time and energy to a team. So how have you been able to like stay silent and operate like that? I know you're operating in a high intense sport. You're saying, I could go ahead and I'm gonna stay low, keep my head clean.
I'm not a fan of the limelight. I don't feel like being the center of attention. If I wind up there, cool, but I'm not seeking it by any means. Like if my play takes me to that point, okay, I'm fine. Like I know how to act in those environments. But I think the one thing that, like I said, like that really keeps me focused and staying how I am and humbled and low key is just knowing my goals, like having set goals and knowing what I want to do. I mean. Yeah, I wrote a book when I was, I think, in third grade about how I was going to play the NFL and how I was going to win Super Bowl 60. So, like, I've always had my goals, mapped out, since I was 6. And so, I wasn't going to let anybody, knock me off that path, even if that was going to be myself. Like, I wasn't going to let myself get in the way of, get to my goals. Yeah. Like, and honestly, if someone was getting in the way, they got to go.
They got to go.
and honestly, that's the toughest part about now is, having those childhood friends who you grew up with, who you love, love dearly, but, you're on the same path. Like,
it's real.
Take two different roads and, I got to go down mine. Because I know at the end of the day, you're not going to allow, me to get in your way of success. So, why should I do the same? At the end of the day, I still got love for them, but, I got to get mine.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm glad you said that. Cause like when people get to your level of success, people be like, oh, they change or, they change. But, off deck, that when you're out there pushing to do something that you're dreaming of doing and desiring of doing, like you can't let anyone get in your way. And usually the people that get in your way are the people that are in your circle. Like they end up, it's almost like, when you're running that marathon or that race and then that person trips. And the moment you're about to cross the finish line, they do something stupid. Yeah. And now you lost it.
And honestly, it's funny you say that because, like, our coach is telling us, he's like, this time is so crucial because, especially this preseason, like leading to the regular season, is that you have to, like, we only have X amount of time. So now we don't have any preseason games. So
Right.
it's all about practice. And so if you're hanging around people, if you're going to bars, if you're going out to eat, well, you still go out to eat, but if you're like going to bars, going to clubs, going to crowded spaces, and then you get, a pop positive for, corona test,
right,
you're out for 2 weeks. That's missed time.
Right.
And so you like that goes like you have to watch who you're hanging around. You got to be disciplined. If you know you're not supposed to do, like, make the team first. Like, secure a spot. Like it would be a lot of time down the road, for partying, for doing all the stuff you want to do. But like right now, if you really want this, then you have to dedicate your time and energy to that.
Yeah, and that's a fact. Is that so? That's how you operated in college as well. I mean, because you're going to you went to Notre Dame, and you can't just goof off at Notre Dame and like expect to survive at that level. Because I mean, I went through 2 weeks of just having lectures and stuff like that, and I was inspired actually. Like they made me want to get my master's. I was like,
really?
Yo, I want to go back to school. Yeah, bro, it was crazy.
Okay.
And your campus, the campuses was so beautiful, bro. Like we would wake up early in the morning and go to chow or go to lunch, and when we would walk back, it was that opening with the gold dome with the what's that? That's the chapel. Was that chapel? Is that where's that?
That's the main building. That's main building.
The main building, right? Yeah, with the gold dome and there was a split with the trees.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was beautiful. Everybody needs to go to Notre Dame just to look at that.
Yeah.
But you're right, and I didn't want to like stop where you were talking about, but you're talking about separating yourself and making sure that you're not attaching yourself to people who are making dumb decisions at the end of the day. Yeah. And like you and I both know, as everybody knows, that you're usually your home friends, how they are at the end of the day. And so that if you go out here to this party, you go out to this club, something might happen, like your homeboy might be a fighter, and you're just like, man, I love this guy, but he loves fighting, So you've detached yourself from people like throughout college as well to get yourself through there.
Yeah. I mean, I think my senior season, I think I went out maybe one time after a game, and that was because to me, I have no drive to go out. There's nothing for me. I don't drink, never really got into those extracurricular activities, and so there's nothing for me. I mean, I love hanging out with my guys, but after the game, I'm tired. My body needs to recover and rest, so I usually go home, watch a movie, and just relax. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing good for you out there past 12 o'clock.
And that's a real thing.
Like, things in college don't start parties don't start going up until like 11:30, 12. People are like, okay, pull up at 11, so 12 come around,
right?
Gotta go.
Yeah, you about to get in something. You about to get in some trouble, and that was where I messed up in college, because I was like, I'm back in college now. I'm about to graduate in December, but when I first started in 2011, I dropped out because I was the party dude. Like I was the guy, I just got the military. I had my own place, so I was having the parties at my spot.
Okay.
But I thought that was cool then, but here I am 31 and graduating in December when I could have finished earlier, so I'm glad that you made the right choice.
Yeah. I mean, definitely enjoy your time. I enjoy my time, but definitely, make the right decisions for yourself, because if you're like going back, if you're hanging out with the wrong crowd, and even if you're doing the right things, and but they're still messing around, people start connecting y'all together. So what they do is what they think you do. Even if you're doing the right thing, you're not drinking, but they're out and they see you hanging out with them, so they associate you with them, and so that you don't want that look on you. That's a bad rep, and so that's always my words of advice to guys coming up. I mean, in college, is to just make sure you're hanging around the right people. Yeah, because like the bad apples will definitely spoil you.
They sure will, intentionally too. Sometimes, like, some people don't want to see you rise up, like and like for you, like I met you last year in the summer at Notre Dame, and to see like when I saw that you guys were going up, because you play with a lot of other guys from Notre Dame as well that we met, and you guys were all going out there for it, and I'm just like rooting for y'all. I'm like, please let these boys win, because when y'all win, we win, and it's a sense of like when you see somebody reach their goals, their dreams, that should give you inspiration to go get yours, and that's what you guys have done for me. And that's why I wanted you to come on, because I'm like, let's celebrate with this man. Like, he just got drafted. He's on a team. He's where he wanted to be. And now your next step, like you said in that book you wrote, you're trying to get a championship. So like, that's on your path, bro, and I just believe that, I just believe great things are going to happen in your life, bro. That's all I would say right now. I just believe. And then I'm gonna let it know that it happened on a purpose pod first. I said it first. But I have a question for you. So what tools your father, played a big role in your career, in your life as a football player, in your journey, and that was like the hot topic, a lot of times when people were interviewing you, it's like your dad, because he's been very active as a player for you. So like, what tools has your father given you, throughout your lifetime that has helped you as a player? Like what are two like tools that you use mainly, whether there be like words of advice or just tools on the field? Like, what are two things that kind of stick with you, that you'll probably carry, throughout the rest of your life?
One of the biggest things is like you have no friends on the field, like that aren't your teammates. Yeah, like don't ever say anybody, even like if that's your boy right there. I played against my friends in high school.
Yeah,
and, those aren't your friends right now, because their goal is to dominate you, and the minute you let up, they can make you look bad. Yeah, so that definitely sticks out to me, because I slipped up before a little league. Yeah, I took it easy on one of my friends, and they made me look bad. Don't want to go back there. And then I mean, one thing my dad always did in high school, like, so he was always on the sidelines or in the stands, and I would look at him, and he would just give me like, okay, you need to use your hands more. So he'd be like pointing his hands, like, okay, use your hands more. Okay, but I know what to do. So yeah, I mean, there's times that I'm maybe able to get a look at them during like in college, not really though, because they're usually sitting up high, especially away games. Yeah, but I mean, just the work ethic, I would say, is always never be complacent.
Yeah, and that's 100% real right there too, because you don't want to play football with your friends on the other team, and you just like, oh, that's my boy, I ain't gonna do him dirty. The next thing you know, the first chance he get, yeah. So for those who don't know, like, what a defensive end does, and I know they've like, so you're titled like an edge rusher, right? Like, because you're quick. And like you said, you use your hands, and I know I watched the video. I felt like I was in training with you. Y'all was over there doing and I was like, oh yeah. So as a decent defensive end, can you explain to people who may have never even played football, watched football, so like, let's be in your position on the field. Like, what is it like being a defensive end, and what are your responsibilities as a defensive end?
So usually I'm the end man on the line of scrimmage. So like my goal, my job is to contain everything, to keep everything inside to where my help is. And so I can't let the quarterback escape the pocket, and I can't let the running back escape the pocket. Or like if they do, I have to be able to make the tackle, because I'm usually the last man. Like I said, the last man on the line of scrimmage, I have to make that tackle or force it back inside for help. I mean, it's not hard. It's not that hard. I mean, it is hard. Now I can't go out there do it. No.
It's not that hard. It's just easy. Everybody can do it.
I've been doing it for 16 years now, so it's like clockwork at this point. But yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of discipline, because you have to be really good with your hands, your eyes, and your feet. Because I mean, if you got bad feet, good hands can make up for that. But if you got bad eyes, then you're in trouble.
You just gone, baby.
If you're not looking at your keys, so if my key is the offensive tackle and he blocks down, but I'm not looking at him, but I'm looking, in the back with a running back or quarterback, guard come pulling, I'm done. Yeah, right. You about to get that scene, right? Everybody looking at me like, why didn't you spill the puller? My eyes weren't right. I'm not looking at my keys, and so that's definitely something that's huge.
Have you ever had that moment like where it was like, like you're supposed to make sure the running back doesn't get out there, or the quarterback's not supposed to get out there, but they do, and then like those plays where you like, dang, that was me.
Yeah, it was Ball State my junior year. Yeah. So we're near probably on the 20-yard line. This quarterback was setting really, really, really deep in the pocket. I would say maybe 10, 12 yards in the pocket.
Oh wow.
And so leading up to the game, in practice, you have your scout team players, but nothing can replicate anything like the game. And so in practice, I'm hitting my move at my normal depth, which is about 7 to 8 yards. So come game time, I'm hitting my normal rushes, but I'm about 4 yards short. And so this time, the old tackle, he oversets me. He quick sets me. He jumps out on me fast. So I take the inside move. As soon as I come inside and try to get back on top, quarterback out the pocket. I think our corner linebacker eventually tackled him, but we're close to our sideline. So I dove for it. I missed the play. I get up, here's my coach. You have contained. Like, what are you doing? and then I'm hot. So I'm like, I'm trying to make a play, but like, that's not my play to make. Like, my play isn't to come inside and to, try to get the sack. Like, obviously, we would love for me to get the sack, but they need me to do my job. And that's something I had to learn, the hard way. It's just, do your job. You don't need to, because the minute you try to do somebody else's job, something goes wrong. Like, everybody's out there for a reason. It's 11 players working together for one goal. And as soon as, if one of those 11, messes up, the whole thing goes.
Yeah. And look, I'm sorry, but you got me excited. I was over here bubbling up because you over here preaching again. The Liddy way, folks, the Liddy way. And because you said that wasn't your job. And, like a lot of us fail because we don't do our job. Like we're doing other people's jobs. And then we fail like that. And we're like, I'm a failure or I messed up. No, you're not doing your assignment, So it's just like not even as an athlete, you just can bring that into life in general. It's like, yo, like do your assignment. Stop trying to be everybody else. Be you. Do you. But yeah, that's my those folks out there who are trying to be something. So like you're I told you, I went to school with AJ Green, high school AJ Green. We grew up around the same area, Somerville, South Carolina, Green Wave stand up. But anyway, so I haven't seen AJ since like 2011, probably when I graduated or something, even before that. I don't know. But like, how do you feel about this? Like, because you've never met AJ before, right?
Nope.
So are you excited?
So my thing is, I don't want to be starstruck because, like, growing up, I've been watching these players, ball for a long time, admiring them, and now I'm playing with them. Right. But like I said before, I've earned the right to be here. So like the same way people, are looking at him, like I'm looking at myself like
you
that.
Right
like,
there.
Hey,
exactly.
I'm on the same stage as you. Like
exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Between us. But I'm definitely excited to see him play. Like that's
he all right. Just tell him I say he all
right. That's a true talent right
there. He is.
I was so I think Saturday we went out to some of the D linemen went out to work out, and Geno Atkins was there, and like Geno all pro, literally on the all decade team. I've been watching Geno for a minute. Remember, seeing him on Hard Knocks, and then come on the field, I'm like, oh wow, I'm like, that's Geno right there. But nah, that's my teammate.
That's your teammate. That's my teammate now. That's real though, man. I've never been like a starstruck kind of person either. I've just been like, like I'm just like, oh man, I walk past a couple of football players here and there, and I'm like, oh man, but I love the fact that you guys are able to operate at that level that we, all of us boys usually grow up like wanting to play in the NFL. So when you actually meet people, when you get older and you meet people who actually end up being in the NFL, you're like, oh man, this is so legit. My boy Josh Barnes here, I think he was up in Cincinnati. He said Joe Burrow to AJ all season. He said, hey, that's a fact.
Hey, if we have a season, I hope so.
Right. Man, and it's so crazy. I'm like, I don't know what COVID is doing. I don't know what's going to happen, but I know a lot of people are ready to get back to, what we've been, used to as far as like sports and everything. So like, what's the one thing you're looking forward to in this season, this new season? Let's say everything goes back to normal. What is one thing you're looking forward to?
Man, I just want to play. I mean,
put me in the game.
Just that first snap, just run on the field, even if there's no fans, in the stadium. Like, just being on the NFL stage. I mean, I played an NFL stadium in college before, but now, I got that shield on my chest now, and so that's something huge. So I just want to play.
Yeah, and that's what you're gonna do, brother. That's what you're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to go to my list real quick. And Josh, my boy Josh, he says he's in Dayton, Ohio.
Dayton's like 45 minutes from me.
Yeah, so Josh will take care of you too. He up there. He went to high school with me and AJ. He's a cool guy.
Okay.
That's my brother right there. So I had I sent you a list of questions right here. I wanted to go through these questions real quick, just so I can make sure people get what they want out here. And then I had another one right here. Hold on. Okay, bam. Question number 1. What was one of your biggest challenges you faced as a student athlete at the University of Notre Dame?
Biggest challenge is realizing I wasn't the man anymore my freshman year. Because top recruit coming out of high school, everybody's praising you, loving you. Mm-hmm. You get to college as a freshman, you back at square one. You're on the bottom of the total pole. Yeah. And so that was the kind of the biggest reality check is like I'm like, why isn't the coaches hyping me up anymore? Because like I ain't done nothing yet. Like it's a what have you done for me lately type of game. Yeah. Because if you're not benefiting them, then they're gonna get fired. And they got a family to feed, and they ain't gonna let you mess it up. Trying to put in a freshman or a rookie in this sense. Mm-hmm. So, that's kind of have to my mindset now is like, not the man. You gotta go out there and earn it. Yeah, gotta go out there and become the man. And look, exactly. Man, I think it's all possible, brother. It's anything is like you're at like where a lot of us are when we start. When you start school, like that semester that starts over, everybody got an A in class, everybody got a 4.0 in the semester. So like you're just going into the professional league and you are starting off with the A. You got 4.0 GPA. And now there's just space and opportunity. So like I'm just super, I would keep saying it again. I'm super excited for you. So what keeps you motivated as an athlete? I would say that, my family, my friends, like I wouldn't necessarily that they're counting on me, but they're definitely rooting for me. I know, I got their support behind me. And, yeah. I refuse to let them down or myself. And so that's my fuel. I mean, because I haven't, my parents, didn't drive me to practice, for all those years, stay up, countless hours, sending recruiting letters, going on visits for me to, just quit or get lazy and get complacent and not feel like working. And so I feel like I'll be almost disrespecting them if I start slacking at this point. Yeah. You really can't slack, bro. I'm sorry, bro. You just you can't even take a break right now because and it's my job. Hey, right. I have food on the table at this point. I mean, I don't have a family yet, but like hey, I gotta provide for the family right now. I mean, because if I get fired, I ain't got another job. Yeah, you gotta. It gets real at that point. Oh yeah. John says Bloomfield Hills. Nah, he went to Country Day. Oh yeah, he says Country Day. I just tuned in. I used to. I don't know if he went to Country Day, but I'm from West Bloomfield. I live in West Bloomfield Farm to Oakland County, all that stuff. I went to Harrison. Country Day was when I lived in Southfield. That was probably 5 minutes down because Country Day I think is on 13. I want to say. Yeah. And I was on 12, and so that was right down the street from me. So John knows something about that. Then John on the other side. So that's that Michigan area. Yeah. So what was it like living in Michigan? Like, was it because like people? I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina right now, and when you hear about Michigan or like Flint, Michigan, you hear different things. So like, what is it like? What was it like for you? It was cool growing up. I liked it. I mean, it was cool. I mean, the one thing we got all 4 seasons. Like it was hot. It was you got fall, you got spring, but it was cold in the winter. Yeah, it was cold. I mean, but I love living in Michigan. There's a lot of diversity there. You just get an opportunity to meet a lot of people. It's a huge melting pot. I think it's the biggest Middle Eastern population outside of the Middle East itself in the world, and that's right there in Dearborn, Michigan. And then like everybody kind of spreads out a little bit, and then honestly, outside of there is violence in Michigan, but I mean, you get that anywhere. But outside
Everywhere.
of that, it's a pretty good place to live. I mean,
Okay.
you got your nice people, but you also got your bad people here. But that's anyway.
Yeah. And that's like everywhere else. Like you said, because everybody always be like Michigan. Like I swear, like when I hear about Michigan, it's just never like a positive thing. Like, oh yeah, man, my boy went to Michigan and met somebody at the grocery store.
Hey, you definitely see stuff like that, but like there's definitely a few bad apples that people kind of start associating with the city and the state itself, like the city of Detroit, and then Michigan as a state. But
yeah,
it's a great place to be. I mean, it's not really a lot to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't have it's not Atlanta.
Yeah,
but like we got a lot of stuff to do outdoors. Like I love going to the lakes. With my friends. I mean, really good food back at home. You get pretty much anything. My favorite thing is going to Coney Island. It's better than Waffle House. I mean, I know a lot of people
it's better than Waffle House.
Love Waffle House because you can get anything from Coney. So you can get your breakfast, you can get your dinner, you can get your lunch, but you can get name it, you can get it there.
Yeah, I've never been out there, but I need to take a trip out there sometime.
Most definitely.
And John says, no, I thought he went to Country Day. I went to Cass.
He went to Cass.
Yeah, y'all talking secret code. I don't know. Y'all talking. They throwing stats up out here, y'all.
Cass Tech, that's a pretty big high school in the city. They're pretty well known for their football right now. My mom went to high school there, but I didn't.
Yeah. Somebody TR said, right? I said that y'all throwing up gang sign. Y'all throwing up, hey, West Side, Coney Island, South Side, Central Park.
Yes, it is.
No, so my last.
And the thing about the Coney is you don't go to the big chain ones. You don't go to Leo's or nothing like that or Kirby's. You go to the hole in the wall Coneys because they're the best ones. They put their foot in it. Yeah.
So whenever we go out there, we just need to hit Liddy up, y'all. Hit Liddy and John up, and they'll get us straight when I go to
I'll
Michigan.
let you know where to go.
We trying to eat out there. I like to eat good now. I'm from the South. Good,
Yeah.
But so I wanted to ask you, this question leading into our final. And if you guys have questions, please comment your questions in the comments. Everybody comment your questions in the comments. If you have questions, please. So what does purpose? You're on a purpose pod, so I have to ask you this. And it's a very serious question, so I want you to take your time. I'm just fine. So what does purpose mean to you? What does purpose mean to you?
Purpose to me is, what gets you out of bed, on those hard mornings and just, that fuels the fire is the reason why, you don't give up or that you keep going. I feel like that's truly what purpose is because there's a lot of times when, there's a lot of challenging moments and, really trying and then that comes down to your foundation. I mean, you don't have a strong foundation and that's like building a house too. It's going to crumble. And so and I feel like for me, I'm built to my purpose and my purpose is, is my family. And I'll never let them down. So that drives me. That drives me to, keep going and, like I said before, never stay complacent. Always just, want to succeed in whatever I do, whether that's football or just life. Just, try to be the best.
Yeah. Facts. You got some love right here. Hey, put the hands up. Agreed.
Yeah.
That's a fact though. And so with that, what is one thing you want people to know about you? Like something that, I know you go on interviews, you're getting interviewed left and right, but I want to know, what is something that you want people to know about you as a person? Not just I'm in the NFL now, just as a person. What do you want people to know about you? And what is that one thing you want people to know about you? Just imagine if this was a blind date, and you were like, well, I'm 6 something and I'm just playing. What do you want them to know about you then?
I feel like there's more to me than just a football player. I mean, I love art. I love the oceans. There's a lot. I love football. That's my passion. But there's a lot more to me than just, I guess, meets the eye. I feel like you got to get to know me. I love music. I mean, anywhere I go, I'm always listening to music. I always got my headphones with me.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like most people, they would, think, athlete, oh, like they're really loud and like out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm really quiet until you get to know me. Then, I can't stop talking. But like, I'm generally a quiet person. I mean, sometimes I say to myself, man, that usually works out for me. I mean, I don't really know people's intentions all the time. But if you get to know me, I got you. For me, if you show me love, I'm a ride for you. I got you.
Yeah.
Got you will fall off.
That's a fact. That's 100%. So the ladies want to know. None of them ask, but I'm gonna say. So they want to know? Are you looking? He said, "Nah, brother. I'm out here trying to grind. Y'all can look later." He said, "Relationships later." Oh, so I got something. Felicia. She says, "Will you wear beads for your first game?" Who's this?
That's my mama.
Hey, mom. Right, what's going on, mama?
If she does my hair, I will. I gotta. She gotta buy the beads.
So we got to see that. So we got to see the beads. And so, like, we know everybody. If you're tuning in now, his mama made sure we all know that if he wears beads the first game, it's on her. She's. I want it. So, what color beads we gonna put in there now?
Hey, orange and black.
Orange and black. Oh, look, orange you got to go with it. So are you done with the green? Are you done with the green for now?
I'm done. I can't pull that back out.
Yeah. Someone from Facebook she said someone from YouTube. Someone said, "Will you wear braids for your first game?" Yeah. I guess I can't see the YouTube comments.
Yeah, but yes, I will.
Oh, bees. Okay, that's what she meant. I'm sorry. That's what she. So yeah. So everybody's wondering about how he's gonna do his hair. My question is, I'm just playing. But Liddy, man, I really am glad that you came on here, man, and I really am thankful for one. Like, I didn't have to pull your tooth and nail. Like, you just was like, yeah, man, I'm down. Like, that's cool. I was like, and I just wanted you to know that I wasn't on here trying to get clout. I just wanted to really talk about your journey and just talk about you. Like I told you. And I got another question. Alan, if NFL has fans this year, y'all should come stay up here with us and we will go. Okay. Hey, look, we're gonna be so I'm invited to a game. All right, so we're gonna be up there then. We're gonna be in Cincy. I just gotta come when it's like 69-ish.
That's perfect. That's perfect weather right there.
That's perfect weather. 69 is like that football weather, like where you can kind of get cold and still hit people.
It's now in South Bend, you ain't. I mean, you get that late September. That's about it. After that,
I don't even know how you did that, bro. Like I don't know. Like, I don't know how y'all play in the cold. Like, who wants to hit people in the cold? I'm just playing.
when you're playing, you're warm, so like you really don't notice it. But as soon as you come up the sideline, you're freezing.
Right.
Like, you gotta stand by the heater. The coldest I've ever been in the game though was Michigan. This year. We got beat pretty bad. So that didn't help. But it was raining nonstop and it was cold. It was October 26th, so. You get that late fall in Michigan. That's bad. Yeah. Plus the rain, the wind didn't help. Didn't help at all.
They said folks from South Carolina can't fathom that cold.
Listen,
Tommy said that.
The coldest it got in South Bend was -45.
Yeah. That's too much though.
You couldn't come outside. They said if you stayed outside for 2 to 3 minutes, you'd have frostbite.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do it.
That's not happening. And then like your campus isn't exactly small, so like you can't just like it's cold outside.
Canceled.
Yeah.
Like they don't shut down school. Like and so for them to cancel class, that was huge. Like class canceled for 2 days. So the day before, I went to the grocery store. Everybody's there. Everything was kind of off the shelves because like you weren't leaving your home the next couple of days because of how cold it's going to be. So you stocked up on food. The heat was turned up all the way, and I hate being hot. And so my house is usually on 65 with the windows open during the winter.
Oh Lord, boy.
I had the heat on 72, and like the hinges inside the house were frozen.
Wow. Nah, that's for the birds.
Yeah, definitely for the birds, man.
That's for the birds. And I really did think about like trying to get into Notre Dame for my master's because I was so inspired. Like when I tell you, I'm not even joking about how inspired I was out there. Even despite the code, I think I can make it through the code, but I don't know if I can do school another 2 years, but it's been a long time, bro. It's been a long time.
I understand that.
Yeah, man. But Liddy, man, I really am so thankful to have this opportunity to interview you today, man. And I and everyone else on here wishes you the best season ever and just the best career in the NFL, man. And if there's any closing statements you want to say, like to your family, friends, fans, people who want to become fans, where can they follow you? I got your IG right here. It's Liddy _ again, correct?
2 underscores.
Oh, see, I messed that up. See, I knew I messed that up. Folks.
Okay.
Sorry,
you ain't gonna follow me.
You're right. They got the wrong Liddy again. You went the wrong way. 2 underscores. That's 2. It's not showing 2, but it's good. 2. All right, cool. That's good. All right, so I'm gonna put it back.
Yep,
man, that's 2 underscores, folks. Liddy _ again. This guy is a stand-up guy. He don't post all that much, but he be on there.
I don't. Every now I'll put some on my story.
Yeah.
Like, I'm to me, I think I'm a comedian. I don't tell jokes. Yeah. But I'm very lighthearted. I don't take really anything seriously. Like in the media and stuff like that, I gotta be serious. But I try to have fun with anything. Yeah. So whenever it's somebody's birthday, it's easy to find me on IG. But if it's somebody's birthday, I'm gonna post a funny picture of them, and I expect the same on my birthday. Yeah. And honestly, I'm really good with a joke. I can handle a joke. So if somebody got something for me, bring it on.
Send it his way.
Send it my way.
But yeah, man, I hope all y'all's kids out there, y'all need to make sure they know this guy and they can look him up. Somebody says you and Dunlap get it. AJ is back too. Facts. Yeah. Facts. Hey, look, I'm the Bengals. Hey, look, I ain't gonna say. I was trying to refrain from saying a lot of things, but I'm just like, I'm excited. I'm excited for you guys. You know what I mean? Like this is.
We got a good core group of guys. We can really make some shape.
Right. This is an exciting year. I'm like a Baptist pastor. They keep making me close. People keep putting up stuff. I'm like, I'm closing now. Oh, praise the Lord. We're going to open back up again in 2 Thessalonians. I'm just playing. So followed you on IG. So Asia says she followed you. So she followed you back.
Appreciate it.
Asia's dope. So yeah, man. So Khalid, thank you once again, brother. And I will catch up with you, man. And people, please go follow him on IG. Follow him on IG. Send him, be like, I heard you on the Purpose Pod. Reach out to this man. Watch him. Support him. Buy a jersey. Go support this man for sure. That's what we got to do, right? We got to go buy some jerseys, right?
You got to support your own, man.
Right. So let's go get those jerseys out there. You know what I mean? So y'all stop playing around. I don't care if you Dallas Cowboys fans or not. You know how Dallas Cowboys fans are. It's crazy out there. Anyway, Liddy, thanks, brother. I'll talk to you later, bro.
Yes, sir. No problem, man. I appreciate you having me.
All right, brother. Peace. So this has been another episode of the Purpose Pod. Man, we had Liddy on the scene. Liddy need to be a rapper. Like, you can just go anywhere with that. Liddy. It's Liddy up in here. You got to do it the Liddy way. So yes, folks, this is the Purpose Pod. Please go support my boy. Please go support him on his journey. He's starting off his career, and we got to go support him fully, y'all. This is the Purpose Pod. I'm about to play this video again for you guys. Let me go ahead and play it back because, we had him on here. I gotta represent. I just can't go out all week and stuff. Let me go ahead and play that video again. Highlight, because a lot of y'all missed that. Bam, bam. Let's get it on a bam. Let's get it.
Khalid Kareem, Detroit kid, Harrison High School. Brought down for the sack by Khalid Kareem.
Khalid Kareem knocked it out.
What a play by Khalid Kareem. Get that ball out. Back to the air. Perkins in trouble. He goes down for the 8th time. That's Khalid Kareem. 3rd and 10 is the moment now. And Patterson's going to throw. He's in trouble. And he is brought down.
First sack of the game. Khalid Kareem gets it done. Notre Dame defense comes through in a big way. And
dropping back 35, I should say. He's brought down for the sack by Khalid Kareem. Khalid Kareem down goes Slovis. Patterson is flushed. He's in trouble. He is sacked.
Bills drop back. He's in his own end zone. Oh, ball knocked out. The ball's in the end zone.
Touchdown! Fighting Irish.
Yeah, you guys seen it here first.
Drop the bass.